Hey, it's Biddy Penny, and I'm here with the Lawn Fawn Holiday Coloring Book. I had so much fun sitting down and coloring this up. So I thought I would turn it into cards and a video for you guys. Um, I made one card for Instagram, and it was a lot of fun. It was just an off the cuff kind of day, and I just thought I'm going to make a slimline card with some of the images I colored from that coloring book and posted it to Instagram. And I am going to share that with y'all here, but then I'm also going to make 5 cards. So here's the one I had made and posted to my Instagram page. It was so much fun. I love that village. And I have the stamp set, but here's the thing. I like this size stuff. So I wish Lawn Fawn would do digital images, digital stamps. That would be so amazing. I had so much fun coloring all these up and making cards with this scale, and then of course Lawn Fawn's adorable drawings. So here I'm just adding some acrylic paint for white snow. I'm going to add it to this card, that little guy, and this card. And then I also added some glitter pen to all the snow, because snow usually sparkles. At least I think it does in Texas, because I don't see it that often. So I know it can get dingy and dirty too. I'm aware. Anyways, my snow is sparkling. So I'm going to bring in this sentiment from my Stampers Anonymous set, and it says Happy Holidays. And I'm actually going to use that same sentiment on all my cards. So this one I heat embossed, and I stuck it to some foiled craft cardstock. And I'm covering up that little tree down there and a snowflake that I had cut off when I made these. So this card and the other Yeti card are A9. That's 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper cut in half. And I kind of had some troubles here. I didn't get it quite lined up, but that's okay. I'll make it work later. But it's so cute. And I love this one, and the fact that he has a popsicle, like, adorable. This I'm just keeping a 1-layer card, super simple. I'm stamping my sentiment directly onto the scene. And look at those penguins, guys. You have to kind of pick a side. If you're going to color with this coloring book with alcohol markers, you have to pick a side. Sorry, that's just the way it is. This paper is kind of thin, to be honest. It's fine because it's a coloring book, right? It's like a coloring book weight of paper. But I just thought this was so much fun. And if you don't have the Lawn Fawn Coloring Book and you're a beginner card maker and you have a different one, maybe an adult coloring book, you might take some of these ideas to make your own Christmas cards. So this is card number 3. And for this one, I really just love these colors together, this blue and yellow. And the yellow is kind of like the yellow on the penguin's belly, which is great. It all ties together. And it's a very simple card design. And the penguin is the star. I had so much fun coloring those snow goggles on him and the Yeti. It was a blast. That was my favorite part, actually. So I didn't get a great impression there. I'm going to end up, well, I tried to stamp over it again, and that was a fail. So what I will do is go in and cut that part off. And I actually like the size of this strip better. That all looks better to me anyways. So I'm just going to tape all of this down. I am going to give the Happy Holidays sentiment another try. It better work this time or else we're going to have problems. Luckily it does. First, though, I bring in this scrap. This is a Christy Marcotte tip here. So I brought in this scrap piece of the same paper that I'm gluing this down to so that it's even all the way across, especially because of this coloring book paper is thin. I didn't want it being uneven. Now I still kind of taped it on there a little crooked, but that was just the name of the game for crafting. When I made these, that's just what was happening. So I bring in the sentiment again, which this is tricky. It would be best to stamp it before you've glued it onto your card base. Luckily, it all worked out. And this card is an A2 size card. So this is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. All right, so I'm going for it. We're going to do Happy Holidays again. I know as a crafter, like I want to use all the things, but when I'm mass producing, it helps to do something like this, like pick one sentiment and make it work for everything. It will cut down on the time you spend significantly. Okay, I was originally thinking this tree would be another slimline card, but nah, I could have made it work. But I wanted to keep everything pretty clean and simple and easy. I was just wanting to be in the flow and was not going against the grain on anything. So if it felt like it was going to be too much effort, I aborted mission. Instead, I'm going to make an A2 card with this as well. And this tree is definitely the star of the show. All right, so I'm trimming it off just a little bit down there. And the pink is kind of like fancy wallpaper. And then I cut out this window. I'm going to color it up with my Spectrum Noir markers. And it's just going to add a little extra to my card. I think the card would have been super cute without it, but I like it with it too. So I bring in my Spectrum Noirs. I'm using TN5, TN7, and TN8 for some wood windows, which I've come to find out I like the idea of wooden window panes, or not panes, but wooden window frames. So I tend to always go with like a brown wood when I'm coloring up the inside or the outside of my homes on my cards. It's like a craftsman style instead of a D.R. Horton style, which is plastic and metal. Ask me how I know. Oh, we don't call him D.R. Horton. We call him D.R. Horrible around here. But that story is far too long to dredge up for a card making video. All right, so I'm just adding some drop shadows and some dimension to this window and blending it all with my lightest color. Okay, and bringing in a very pale blue. I wanted the sky to have some color, but not too much. And I'm just setting everything up again, making sure once it's colored in, yes, I still like it. Great. Let's tape this down. You know, I usually edit this kind of stuff out of my video, but we're card making here. Again, I'm going with the flow today. So you're going to get to see me taping some stuff. At one point, I thought about adding that little Santa peeking behind the tree, but I didn't want him to look creepy. All right, I was getting things crooked when I was making these cards, and luckily, I'm glad I decided to fix it. and when I did, but I'm going to pull that window up real quick, and it's not fully stuck, so I get to, and it doesn't damage the paper or anything. And I'm going to give that another go. By the way, when I was making this video, I was listening to Matthew McConaughey's memoir called Green Lights. Oh, it is so good, guys. I love it. So I got it with my Audible credit this month, and it's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I kind of have a soft spot for Matthew McConaughey, and so of course that plays into it, but it's very delightful. I'm almost done with it. All right, so when I'm doing mass card making, I will typically do this. I'll stamp a sentiment or an image or something on the inside. I don't always color it. And then I'll bring in, if I used paper, like a pattern paper like I did on the front, then I'll bring it on the inside and call it a day. Like for me, that's a completed inside of a card. No fuss, just simple. And it does give it that finishing touch. I really do like finishing the insides of my cards. Okay. I am considering donating a lot of these to the nursing home. So if you guys didn't know, I have the Kindness Card Club. Probably most of you do know this, but I'm going to try to make up a good amount of holiday cards to give to residents of the nursing home this year. And so I imagine that this is kind of going to start my stash for that. There's that card, and this is the last card. So I brought in an alcohol marker, and I'm just doing like candy cane striped background, if you will. It's really just red stripes, but it reminds me of a candy cane. Works for Christmas. So easy, so simple. Nothing more needed than a marker and a white sheet of paper. And somehow I kept up with 2 out of the 3 teeny tiny crumbs that came with this cookie. I am so impressed. If you saw my craft room, you would be impressed too. So I'm going to bring in 4 adorable cookies for the front of my card, and then I'm going to save the others for the inside. I knew I wanted a sentiment in the center, and I stamped I punched this from a Stampin' Up! Punch, and that was going to give me my 5th element, so it's all in balance and everyone's happy. It's an odd number on the front of the card, not even. I glued down all my cookies, and I popped up with foam tape the Happy Holidays sentiment. I didn't do it in this video, but I'm probably going to go back and add like sequins and bling to all these cards. You know, make people's holidays shine, right? Yeah, so here I am popping up the sentiment. And then I'm bringing that same theme to the inside of the card, but I wanted to do it in green. And I just kept it simple with one little sugar cookie there. So guys, I'd be interested to know which of the cards that I made today were your favorites. I would love to know that. Again, if you don't have the Lawn Fawn Coloring Book, but maybe you have images and you're a beginner card maker, this would be a great way to use them without having to have stamp sets and things like that if you don't have them in your stash already. All right, I hope you guys enjoy that. Let me show you the final product of everything. So this is the card we just made. Super cute. I love it. And this one, I love all the colors here today. I really am going to make a lot of bright Christmas cards this year because I feel like we need light. We need a lot of brightness and cheerfulness. I'm going to try to make the most cheerful Christmas cards I've ever made this year. All right. I hope these cheered you up, and maybe they're getting you in the holiday feeling, and you'll be seeing a lot more. So stick around, subscribe, like, comment. I would love it. Thank you for all of your time. I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.